Hey, buddy, do you know why apes tell such poor stories?
I don't know.
Because they have no tails.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
They
start the
don't?
show. Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne, with me, my partner in crime, Naldo. How are you, sir?
They don't have tails?
Yeah, apes don't. I guess that's
Apes
what
don't.
Kong is, right? He's an ape. Yeah, he's not a
Sure.
monkey. An ape.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
monkeys have tails.
Yep.
Anyways,
There you go.
what's up, man? How's it going,
Hey,
everybody? Nobody cares.
I don't think so. No, we could have
Uh,
said they had tails and they wouldn't care.
yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, we're doing a new movie. A brand new
A
movie.
new movie, a movie that
Mm-hmm.
literally is out the week we're doing this. This is amazing. This is like a
Yeah.
second for us, I think. Maybe not a
Yeah.
first, but a second.
Yeah. So the movie is Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire. Got that right. Yay.
Yeah, that's a lot to say.
Full disclosure, this is actually, I think it's probably my first Kong movie in the all the installments, I think.
That blows my mind. There are
Why?
okay, so in the Kong universe or like Godzilla or like
I saw
everything.
the Godzilla one in '98. Does
Okay.
that count?
No, because that's not even part of this universe. So
Okay. I don't
I
think I've
guess
seen any of them.
this probably started with the Godzilla film with I don't know, Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and it was directed by Gareth Edwards, like, I don't know, 2014. It's like 10 years ago.
All right, PG-13. Oh, it's almost 2 hours long. Way too long. I
Way too
mean,
long.
it's way too long. It's just monsters. It's all monsters. I had no idea what this movie was trying to be, man. I listen. I'm not gonna hide my feelings. I didn't get it, man. I mean, it's such a simple story, but it's so messy and so muddled. At times, I don't know if I was watching like a Pokemon movie because you had to know all these monsters' name. And listen,
Sure.
I went in there; it was a packed house. So don't get me wrong. There's a good following for this franchise. I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, it had a huge opening weekend, which I was actually shocked about because I, watching the previews, was kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't really, like, why is Godzilla purple now? He's never been purple. And they didn't really do a good job setting the story up in the previews
Yeah,
at all. It was really just like, hey, look, we've got big, shiny, bright CGI monsters, and they're all going to throw
yeah.
and yell at each other and roar and shoot things. And you'll be entertained, I guess. And I guess I was, but as a fan of Godzilla and Kong, I guess on their own, I didn't love this one.
Yeah, it's a simple movie about monsters fighting each other, but then you got portals that they're traveling through time, and he's got my son, my 7-year-old son. He goes, "Oh look, Kong has the Thanos glove." I'm like, "Yeah, he's got the Thanos glove or the Hulkbuster glove," you
Yes.
know.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
he gets a new tooth, and he's got Godzilla, and it got I don't know what I was watching, man. I don't know what it tried to be. And listen, I understand it's CGI. I totally get it. I can get into these movies, but it takes me out sometimes because the CGI is just very cartoonish.
I did like the monster fights. So I enjoy seeing, Kong fight whatever monster it is, or Godzilla fighting, his rogues gallery of different monsters. But yeah, the CGI was a little tough at some points. One thing I feel like you lose when monsters are fighting other monsters is that scale, that grandness of like Godzilla standing over a skyscraper,
Right.
Kong climbing, the Empire State Building. Because they're all fighting each other, it just seems like two small apes fighting each other. It's two lizards fighting each other. It's just not as impressive when you
Yeah.
have that scale against humans. But I did like the monster fights. I like that they
Sure.
introduced some new elements. They did allow for
What? Yeah.
Godzilla to do something different. Like he never really like charged up in like his nuclear power, and so like they did something
Okay.
that they hadn't done before. I'll give them credit for that.
Okay. Well, what's next? Next movie, Godzilla's gonna sing and dance with a top hat and a cane. I mean, listen, I'm
Baby
sorry.
Godzillas, yeah.
Okay. All right. So one thing I liked about this movie was Diddy. Ugh, I just called him Diddy Kong, little baby Kong. He was fantastic. I'd rather see that movie than all this movie. I'd rather see Big King Kong go on adventure with little Diddy Kong and just the adventures that these two have. So that's all I liked about this
That's it.
movie.
That's all you liked. Okay,
I
fair
mean,
enough.
the fights were okay, but it was just loud, and it's like, is this a Michael Bay film with Transformers? Was it Transformers?
You could
I
have
don't know.
put some Transformers in this movie, and it would have been a Transformers
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I think that kind of gets to some of the stuff I disliked. It's a very hollow movie, just like Hollow Earth. That's the, I guess, in between place between the Earth and the
Yeah.
core. Whatever. This is where he lives now, all
Mhm.
by himself. He's like aged down. He's like gray and stuff in this movie. But
Yeah, he's
Hollow
tired.
Earth's like you've got an upside down and a right side up, and there's flying things that look like they're out of Avatar. There's too much. Like, just
Yeah.
give me Godzilla and give me Kong, and they can fight each other or they can fight another big monster. But I don't need all this other, like, this Hollow Earth is got crystals and people and just
Yeah. It's like Avatar.
yeah. Speaking of people, the humans terrible. The humans are terrible in this movie. They might as well have been like reading the dictionary while they're on
Yeah.
screen because nothing they said made sense, and they're doing is really reading like an exposition of like, this is what's happening in the story now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why this works. And you're like, wait, how could this podcaster possibly know how the gravity and stuff works in this environment? So,
Yeah.
and then the running time, which you already touched on. An hour and 55-minute movie shouldn't feel like a 2.5 hour movie. And there were times where I was yawning, like, let's go, let's get to the grand finale, please, because this is taking too long.
Yeah. I closed my eyes for like 5 minutes. I was like, okay, it's just another fight.
I did too. I thought it was because I
I'm
was
sorry.
tired, but man,
No,
I
I
just
closed
was
my
like,
eyes. I was like, okay. Another thing that I didn't think it was needed was the little girl, but because she called the monarch butterfly or moth to unite the
Mothra.
my I don't get it. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. There was tons of people there. There was kids with their Godzilla and Kong toys, and I think that was fantastic. This movie was just not for me. I did not get it. People were clapping towards the end for every scene, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, why am I not clapping? Right? I want to clap. I just could not get into it. My kids are clapping. I'm looking like, what the hell are you guys clapping at?
Because
So
Godzilla, the little girl, and the moth, and everyone saved the day. It was all good, you know?
I guess, yeah. I don't have much else. If you want to rate it, we can rate it. This is just one of those movies that if you're a fan, you're a fan. If you're not, I'm just not gonna do anything for you.
Fair enough. Let's get into ratings. Since there were so many monsters and we had a lot of roars, let's rate it on roars. How many roars are you going to give this one?
Okay, 1 to 5. 1 roar, awful. 5 roars, great. I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. I still had a good time. It was a little bit long. I'm going to go with a solid 2.5 roars. Yeah,
But you fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. I closed my eyes
Oh, okay.
when the
Sorry.
humans were talking because it really didn't matter anyway, and I really just wanted them to get to the next part where the monsters are fighting.
Okay. All right. 2.5 roars. Is that what you
2.5
give it?
roars.
2.5. Okay. I'm gonna go a half step below you. I'm gonna give it 2 roars, because it's entertaining. People loved it. It's a franchise, and I'm not gonna, people are doing something good, right? If people are liking these films, it's just not for me. Again, I think this was my first installment seeing, so it just didn't do anything for me. It felt like I was watching just a bunch of different action movies, and it just fell flat for me. I don't think I'll ever want to see another one. That's it.
Solid. I would say consider watching the 2014 Godzilla. That is a good movie. I would also consider watching Peter Jackson's Kong.
I think I
Separate
saw that.
movies.
Does that count?
Well, I mean, it counts in the sense that it's King Kong. I don't
Okay.
know that it's interconnected with this stuff, but
Yeah.
those two films on their own about those characters are good. Actually, Godzilla -1 that came out last year and won an Oscar. Like, good movie about Godzilla. Somehow together, it starts to feel a little bit like Transformers or Fast and the Furious. There's too much going on and way too much on screen, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I'm so confused at any concept of what I'm watching. So
Yeah. Okay.
there you
cool.
have it,
All right.
folks. Yep. Not much to say about Godzilla X Kong, other than, let us know what you thought if you watched it. It did a lot, so I'm assuming some people watched it. Tell us
Yeah.
why we're wrong on our review, and like, subscribe, and the rest of that jazz. We'll see you next time. I've been your host, Gagne. This is FYC Film Review. My partner, Naldo, with me as always.
Sounds good, everyone. Have a good one.